Vasseur slams Sainz's request. The 2023 season has proved to be a disastrous one for the iconic Ferrari team, with their performance hitting new lows not seen in decades. Amidst this bleakness, Carlos Sainz has been desperately seeking a way out, while his teammate Charles Leclerc's sole aim seems to be to simply complete a race, a truly dismal way to approach a new season. Despite Sainz's attempts to explore other options, the team principal, Frederic Vasseur, has boldly come forward with a statement about Ferrari's future, punctuated with an exclamation point no less. This pronouncement is sure to ruffle Sainz's feathers and fuel the already simmering tensions between the two. Ferrari is really feeling the burn after the first few races of the 2023 season, and not the good kind of burn. No. They haven't even come close to catching up to Red Bull, and it seems like they've actually taken a giant leap backwards. I mean, Vasseur can talk about massive progress all he wants, but we all know that's just a morale booster for the team. How on earth are they going to keep Leclerc motivated when he's already had 2 DNFs out of 3 races? It's like trying to make a cat take a bath. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just Red Bull that they're lagging behind. Oh no, they've fallen behind Mercedes and Aston Martin as well. Talk about a triple whammy. But hey, Ferrari has been in tough spots before, right? They've clawed their way back to the top with sheer willpower and determination. Sure, some new faces were in the mix, including Sainz in the driver's seat, but that doesn't mean they can't turn things around. In fact, Sainz himself has called for a complete overhaul of the development direction. Let's not count Ferrari out just yet. They've been in some seriously deep water before, and this ain't their first rodeo, baby. True, there are some fresh faces at the helm, including Sainz in the driver's seat, but they've got a history of bouncing back with a unified sense of purpose and a solid plan. And that's precisely why Sainz has taken it upon himself to call out the team, insisting that they need to shake things up and change their development direction. It's true that in Bahrain, Sainz was zooming by with the fastest straight line speed, but let's not forget that in Australia, Ferrari was stuck in a slow lane as the 4th fastest car on the grid. And let's be real here, straight line speed is just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to dominating on the track and securing that championship title. So don't go counting out the other teams just yet, because Mercedes might not be the only ones gearing up for some major changes in the near future. Vasseur, the team principal, who had some seriously high expectations placed on his shoulders when he joined the Scuderia, is singing a different tune than Sainz. While the drivers themselves are the ones who are feeling the pain of the car's shortcomings, Vasseur is stubbornly sticking to his guns, insisting that the current path is the right one and there's no need for any major changes. Talk about a clash of perspectives. Sainz is practically begging for a different approach, but it looks like Vasseur isn't willing to budge an inch. This is what Vasseur had to say: "We are sticking to the plan. We have made some adjustments in terms of balance and behavior, and it was much better in Melbourne, and we'll continue in this direction. It's not a B car, if that is what you want to say." When a team is stuck in a rut and can't seem to get their current car to perform up to snuff, rumors start swirling about the possibility of a Plan B car. It's a common theme in the F1 world, and now Ferrari seems to be the latest victim of this rumor mill. Mercedes was in the same boat not too long ago, but the key difference is that they actually admitted they were in the wrong. Their no-pod side-pod design was only making matters worse, so they had to make some serious changes. It seems that the Maranello crew is head over heels for their chunky side pods, which are giving them some wicked speed to compete with the big dogs on the F1 grid. But there's a catch. The car can't even make it to the finish line and has major shortcomings in crucial areas like downforce generation. It's clear as day that some serious tweaks may be required to be done on the SF23, and they better do it pronto if they want to salvage their season. Vasseur claims that these alterations are not indicative of a radical new direction for the car's design. This is something he has mentioned before and then elaborated on. "We won't come with something completely different. We will continue to update this one, and we'll try to update massively. To do a new project during the season, to start from scratch, to do a new car with a cost cap, but also considering the restriction of the wind tunnel time. I don't want to say that's impossible, but it's very difficult." The changes that Ferrari has implemented on their SF23 post-Melbourne have not been working their magic on Sainz and Leclerc. In fact, the team has been struggling to keep up with the Mercedes drivers and Alonso, and even Stroll managed to surpass Leclerc in the qualifying session. And while Sainz had a stellar performance in the race, his unlucky pit stop during the first safety car, which quickly turned into a red flag, mind you, meant that he had to claw his way back up the grid. Although the best of the Maranello team has yet to be seen, Vasseur is adamant that there is a development path that the team will follow in upcoming races like Imola. When asked if Ferrari's development plan had been in place for a while or if it had been tweaked to produce results more quickly, the Frenchman said, "There is always a development plan before the start of the season, but at the same time there is room for change depending on the needs of the car. We acted very quickly, already starting to make changes in Melbourne, but we can't massively change the plan. There are budget constraints, but we have managed to speed up the process. Some changes originally planned for Barcelona will arrive at Imola." As the Easter break descends upon the Formula One paddock, Ferrari finds themselves in a precarious situation. This 1-month period of respite presents the Scuderia with a chance to reflect and re-strategize their car's development. It's a much-needed breather for a team that has been struggling to find its footing, but the truth remains inescapable. Ferrari is far from where they want to be, with Red Bull and Mercedes showing no signs of slowing down, and Aston Martin making strides forward. The Maranello squad has their work cut out for them. It seems that Ferrari is really up to its neck in troubled waters. Losing ground not only to one, but to 3 teams ahead of them is a dire sign of things to come. And the fact that we have yet to witness a Ferrari driver standing on the podium in the first 3 races is a strong indication of their struggle. Moreover, taking into account the team's history of crumbling under pressure after a strong start, it's hard to imagine them making a significant leap forward anytime soon. It's as if there is some negative energy or a cursed vibe floating around the Ferrari team, and their lack of accountability and inability to deliver with the SF23 is more than enough to keep them out of the championship race. As I already mentioned, Leclerc's recent statement about only focusing on finishing races rather than the championship itself says it all about where the team currently stands and what kind of energy dominates their garage. Now, Ferrari might win the battle with the FIA if the governing body decides to grant them an appeal for Sainz's unfair penalty in Melbourne, but let's be real here. Even if that turns out to be the outcome, it's not exactly what the team should be aiming for. Leclerc has only managed to gather a measly 6 points after the first 3 races, and with Ferrari sitting on only 26 points in the Constructors' Championship, it begs the question, will we see some major changes happening within the team sooner rather than later? It's worth noting that Vasseur had mentioned prior to the start of the season that while they were content with Leclerc's undeniable talent, their primary focus was on gearing up for 2023 rather than negotiating a contract extension. This is a hefty burden for any driver to bear, as Bottas himself can attest from his own experiences. The uncertainty surrounding Leclerc's future with Ferrari, coupled with the team's lackluster performance this season, could push the young driver to explore other options, especially with Mercedes currently courting the 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. Speculations have arisen regarding a possible swap between the 2 drivers, but Mercedes is reportedly working on strengthening their ties with Hamilton. Only time will tell whether Ferrari's strategy will prove to be fruitful, but one thing is clear: Sainz is far from pleased with the current state of affairs. What are your own insights on the Ferrari debacle? Let us know in the comments section below.